Welcome, people of the World Wide Web. So this is Chris from Cypher Sigma Screen Time. This is Wednesday, and most Wednesday most Wednesday videos that I like to put up is essentially what I have been watching the past 14 days. These videos come out every 2 weeks, so 26 a year essentially, and these go over the last 14 days of what I've watched, physical media and streaming. I do not include cinema visits to this just because that's its own separate thing at the weekend. So have been smashing through. The last few weeks I've been absolutely playing some computer games because I'm losing Game Pass, so I haven't focused. It's quite small and we only have 2 online stuff. So we will go with, I'll move this upside down because we go with the what I watch first, and that's in reverse order. So first off, we have 2 movies. So one of them is on Amazon Prime. It is Stand By Me. This is Dakota Fanning, the younger of the Fanning girls, essentially plays a young girl that has a mental disorder. Her passion is Star Trek, and she has written a Star Trek script, and basically they announce that there will be a competition if she puts in a script. It could win this competition. She is estranged from her sister because you notice that her mum's not around, and her sister has put her in this house where she works with Toni Colletti's character and everything else to try and deal with it. She wants to connect with her sister and her new niece because she's never ever seen them or been able to hold them and that. And it's kind of, she wants her independence but can't have it due to everything that's happened before it. She then decides to go on her own to Las Vegas to do it because no one will take her to the post office to post this and it won't get there in time. But unfortunately, along the way, she is taken advantage of in a few places. It does work, and it's basically her story. Very, very heartwarming. If you like, kind of, there are some good Star Trek nods in there. Sorry, they do take the mick out of Star Wars as well. That's why the Freudian slip. But really, Stand By. Please Stand By. It's good. I really like it. I thought it's quite a good movie. Quite expensive, so I won't be adding it to the collection quite just yet. Next one is on Now TV that me and my wife have, and is Resident Alien Season 4. This is the Alan Tudyk series where he is a alien that comes to Earth essentially to destroy him, but unintentionally basically bonds with a lot of the human people, apart from the person, and he is basically infiltrated there as the Doctor. This is the final season, as it was cancelled. Essentially, we start the season off and he is human. The Greys, the other aliens or some of the other aliens that are out there, basically take his power, and then basically he's left human, not able to do his Doctor's job, and everything is into chaos. Lots more people in the series find out he is an alien, culminating into kind of everyone finishing off all the stories within this film, within the series, but then moving on. And absolutely great series. This series 1 is brilliant. Series 2 was the longest one that they had, and I think they strained a little bit with stories. Season 3 then started to pick it back up, and Season 4 was just such a caveat, such a great ending, tied everything up, all the characters and everything else, and just, it's one of these series that you can watch, enjoy. You want more, but it ended it such nicely that I don't think they would ever need to go back. Maybe they might do a movie, who knows. But yeah, I like the character of Harry van der Spiel as a Doctor, and a few of his slogans and stuff like that he says throughout it is quite funny. So those are the 2 online stuff I've done. We have everything else here, obviously not massive amounts, as I said. So first up, we have Captain America 4. So this is one I got at Christmas. So this is A Brave New World. So this is the 4th installment. Now, when I watched this at the cinema before I went to see it, I did rewatch the Falcon Winter Soldier series. When I watched that series and when I watched this, I wasn't the biggest fan of Anthony Mackie. Rewatching it and giving it time, I actually more appreciate Anthony Mackie's character. For me, the problem with this is exactly this thing here. The story needed to be more about him. The Hulk didn't need to be in. And the reason why I say this, there was reshoots, there was stuff list, is that you have like the Serpent Society, which are in there. So Gustavo Poyet from Breaking Bad and stuff in there, and you have a few other people that he fights against. You had the Red Hulk with the new Thunderbolt Ross and his charge. You have the previous Captain America, Elias, I can't remember, Stone, I think his name is. And then on top of that, you had the leader that kind of comes into it. And then you have then you had the Eternals featured in it, and there is just so many elements they're trying to shove in it. It's kind of a chaotic mess. If you strip all away and you had some random actor, B-C list, being a president that was being threatened by this serpent sighting, you had Anthony Mackie's character step up and try and thwart it, and then obviously you could include the Eternals because they've done it vibranium for the X-Men. Fair enough. That was enough. You didn't need the Hulk. You didn't need anything because, as I say, you watch this, you pick this up and you see him there. It literally comes in like the last 10, 15 minutes of the movie. Everything before it relating to Harrison's full character, you kind of know, you foreshadow, you see, it all makes sense to that, and kind of takes away from Captain America being Captain America, especially Anthony Mackie have to step in over like Chris Evans' role. Glad I have it in the movie because I'm a big movie fan. Yeah, a lot wrong with it, but I say more praise for Anthony Mackie. I look forward to his future one. So next up is one that AJ gifted me that I finally got a case for. It is Primitive War. So this, in my eyes, is the best dinosaur movie that came out in 2025. Yeah, not a big fan of Jurassic Park Rebirth, but I will give it a second watch at some point. I'm probably not going to pick it up to give it a rewatch. We'll see. The main guy is Jason Stackhouse from True Blood, is what I know him, and it is set in Australia, and it is getting a sequel. I missed out on seeing this at the cinema, but I watched it. I did enjoy it. The CG, the dinosaurs, and how they're interlinked, it works quite well. The overall story I enjoyed. Some of the characters and some of the acting are very much B-C list, and I mean the woman that they find in it I found was a really bit annoying. Them trying to fend off all these dinosaurs at the end. The dinosaurs look really good, but some of the acting isn't that great and stuff. So yeah, Primitive War. So I did enjoy it overall, but I'm saying the dinosaurs and that were really good and some stuff. But yeah, just as I say, it's a better movie than Jurassic Park Rebirth. But I don't think that it'd take much to that. But yeah, I enjoy it. I'll probably see the second one when it comes out. And yeah, thank you AJ for letting me add it to my collection. So next up is another steelbook that I picked up recently. So this is The Kingsman Golden Circle. So this is the steelbook for the second movie starring Elton John, which class obviously they bring back the character of Harry, which we thought was dead. And I really enjoyed this. So there's a lot of famous people, Julianne Moore, the Mandalorian himself, I can't remember his name, Channing Tatum is in it, Halle Berry. And it is a really good movie. In all fairness, I like all the Kingsman movies. I think it's a great series. Never realised as well, and I don't know if you did, that Argyle, the series, the movie that was 2 years ago with the lady from Jurassic World, Bruce Dallas, whatever, Bruce by Dallas, whatever her name is. Yes, that Argyle movie is supposedly in this world of the Kingsman. Never even realised that. I don't think they ever released it. So that does make me want to rewatch it, and intrigued. So yeah, so that is Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Next one, what my wife had been talking about this for a little while, so we went back and watched it. Pocahontas. Haven't seen it in a long time. Obviously, Mel Gibson plays the voice of John Smith. Obviously, we do like the character of Miko and stuff like this. Haven't been to Disney World in Paris and stuff. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's good to see it. You can see why it's kind of a lower tier Disney movie. There are some movies that were good. I thought I love animation, so it's good to revisit this stuff in a long time and see how stuff goes. And obviously, it's about Native Americans and stuff like this. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. It's funny. I think this was released. I think it was this and The Lion King were released around about the same time. This was supposed to be the blockbuster, and Lion King was like the B-list movie, and it ended up being completely the other way around. But that's how it goes with Disney movies. You never know what to expect. Next one up was a present I got over Christmas, and this is Frozen Empire. So this is the last Ghostbusters film. Was very on the fence when I watched it. There was a lot of things I didn't really like about it. Again, rewatching it solidifies a lot of stuff that I like. Too many characters, too much stuff. There was a story in there. There were certain characters I didn't like. And it's funny because if you kind of pull it back and, you know, there is this Agent Frost demon, he gets released and they have to kind of save him. If they'd used the new team later on in the movie and kind of kept with the family, and taken the other Ghostbusters out, and a lot of like Patton Oswalt's character and like the person who, I can't remember, the guy who puts it in an orb, him there. If you took all of them out, you could have actually had a really, really good movie. I think it would have done really, really well. I can understand why. I'm hoping they do another one to kind of wash this taste of this movie out of my mouth. I'm glad to have it in because it completes the collection. Yeah, it's a very up and down with the Ghostbusters movie. I know because Reitman and that wasn't in it, and obviously the dad died after the last one was made. Next one up, so this was a gift from AJ, so this was The Untouchables. Couldn't really remember a lot when watching it. When I put it in, stuff started to come back with Sean Connery, and I actually really, really enjoyed this. I'm a really, really big fan of Kevin Costner. And I think he does a brilliant job in this. I really like the fact like he has his team. Never realised that obviously certain members were killed. And just how many famous people were actually in it. And obviously it's Elliot Ness and everything else. And obviously trying to stop Al Capone and getting him from tickets and stuff like this. That's how he got caught by a speeding ticket or something, or a broken light. But really, really enjoyed the movie. I'm glad to have it as a steelbook. And yeah, really great addition to the collection. Next one up, AJ's probably going to get sick of calling me because I normally say his name. So he gifted me this as well because he had upgrades. So this is Outland. To quote Matt from Matt's V Movies, very much this has the feel and design of an Aliens movie. Essentially, it's in space. The models used, the kind of design design etiquette, maybe that's what it uses very much. I mean, I can get that, and I really love the little practical models and where you have like, you know, alien planets and stuff like this. But essentially this is about he comes in as a cop, there's drugs and that going on, it's all more or less corrupt. He goes to clear it up, and essentially he's kind of, everyone goes against him, and it's him against these basically criminals. And I did enjoy it. Isn't the best movie in the world, I will give it that. The aesthetic and the design and everything I really, really enjoyed. Sean Connery was all right in it. I say some of the supporting actors and that were quite fun. I say, and it's just nice to revisit movies like this. I wish they did a bit more practical effects sometimes. But it is what it is. Next up, we have The Garden of Words. So essentially, as I said, this is a 45-minute video with you have this young student and a teacher where they meet on this park bench. They don't realise who each other are, and it's them interacting with the world. She is moving on through basically bad relationships and everything else. He wants to be a shoemaker, and it's kind of their connection in the world. It's very, very sweet and heartwarming and kind of realist. There are a lot. Basically, it isn't that anime it's all perfect or you have fun with it. It has a lot of, I think, real world elements included into this and really enjoyable. I forget it's only like 45, 49 minutes long, but I say got this from Mike Z. Did you see that? Mike, so glad he gave me that quite a good deal. He gave it 20 quid, £22, I think I paid altogether. Next one up was one I bought recently. And it was kind of a revisit slash rewatch slash kind of everything because I can't remember. So this is Neon Genesis Evangelion. So this is the legendary series in my top 100 scratch card. That I'd watch, and I couldn't, when I was younger, I never kind of not bonded with it. I kind of never linked with it and never really got on too well with it. Basically, essentially, this is that there was this catastrophe years ago. This angel is basically captured, and they basically create these new angels from it, put them in like armor, and these are called the Evangelions. They have young kids that they bring to these Japanese high school, and these basically kids pilot these ones against newer angels to stop this all catastrophe, and there's corruption and stuff. It's very symbolic. You have the original series here, and then you have the two follow-up movies, which kind of create a new ending. And I'm very hit and miss with this. This will stay in the collection for now. Whether once I've done my 100, I've done all the 100 and ticked them all off, I may sell this because it demands quite a bit of money. I think it goes at 30 to 40 quid, and that price is only going up because it has everything. But for me, essentially, it's fun with the robots, but essentially most throughout it, the kids are again really very real world. Eventually, have problems. The main guy, he's kind of nervous, really struggles to fight you and stuff like this. And essentially, it's a lot of stuff just goes wrong. It's every episode is this angel turns up, they've got to fight it, something goes wrong. They manage to, by the nick of their, by the last straw, they manage to beat the angel doing it, until you have this kind of final one. There are a lot of stuff going on. All these kids come from traumatic backstories, or two of them do. The third one is kind of a clone, spoiler alert, and stuff like this. And it's just, there's a lot to understand and a lot of metaphorical, I think, stuff in there. And I think that's why, to me, it is so confusing. Probably if you understand it or you can relate to it a lot more, then yes, I imagine this will be amazing. The animation stuff is really good. And then on the back of that, they recently did a 3-part movie series. So this is part 1 movie, which essentially is the first third of this series, and then obviously the second one. Better animation, altered the story and fight scenes a little bit, skims through it quite quickly. Quite a nice watch. Not really going to talk much about that. I will get 2 and 3 just to have watch of that. I might just keep them in the collection and sell the old one. The last one we have, this is on my list. So last year I went through a cold load of movies, a few hundred, and then I had basically 30 that I weren't sure or I wouldn't seen, and this was one of them. So it's the best exotic Marigold Hotel. Dev Patel's basic hotel. All these old people from UK end up going there for one reason or another, and it's how their stories interact with each other. And absolutely adored this movie. Very, very surprised me. It was great. Penelope Wilton, I absolutely hated her character. I'm glad it ended up. But how these characters have all had trauma stuff happen to them, and kind of how their life is then brings them to India and stuff, and this Marigold Hotel, and how the owner of it, the young lad, is trying to make sense of his life and trying to sort his stuff out, but obviously his family interject. And it was just really, really good and nice. And I know there's a second one, so I am going to look to get that. But yeah, none that I will discard. So that has been everything I've been watching this past week, plus the 2 online stuff. Anything you agree, disagree, let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. Otherwise, I've been Chris from Cypher Signal Screen Time. This has been my bi-weekly watch, and I'll definitely see you in the next one.